Hello universe, today I'm going to show you exactly how I plan my days and my weeks step by step and the most simple and minimal way possible. First thing you need to do to plan your day, your week, is to do a brain dump. A brain dump is just letting out everything that is on your mind on a paper so you can easily plan it and forget about it until the time comes. There are obligatory tasks, so things like work, family, life admin, if you need to call your doctor, if you need to pick up your kid from school. Next, there's going to be some optional things that are still very good, like routines, habit, organization, like planning, and wish list plans, home tasks, self-care, things like that. First time you are brain dumping, it might be a little hard to remember exactly what you should be doing. So I have two recommendations here. The first is what is called a trigger list, and it just lists a bunch of things that you might need to do. I say, oh, car repairment, oh, weekly shopping, cat appointment. I say these things and you remember that you need to schedule them. And this is essentially what the trigger list does. So every week you could go through this, for example, trigger list from the Getting Things Done, I believe it's a book. Or you could do this interactive exercise with Michelle B, which is an amazing YouTuber. She has this interactive exercise for brain dumping and she just reminds you of anything you might have to do. Next, you're going to want to pick out a calendar. I recommend doing this digitally, but you could do this analog as well if you wanted to. And you already got a sneak peek of mine. I use Google Calendar. So there are tasks, events, and reminders, 3 types of things you could schedule in. Here is how you do it. You could add a guest, you could add a location and a description. I'm pretty sure most calendar apps have this. Here are the color codes that I use. It's important to be able to recognize straight away what is coming up just by looking at the colors. Now the next step involves actually putting the tasks onto the calendar, and for the sake of this video, I'm just going to do my brain dump with you and then I'm going to put them in the calendar to show you how I do that. Things that I don't have on here are recurring things because I've already added these, but we're going to look at that step first. The basis of a solid calendar block is to have everything that happens recurringly already entered into there. And beside these work events and routines, you will also have certain appointments. Maybe you have a doctor's appointment, therapy, you're picking up your kids, you're picking up something else. You just need to be there then at that time. Do calculate travel times and be very generous with timing in general, because it's better to overestimate than to underestimate, because things will get done and you will be more relaxed if you overestimate the time that you will need. Now we're going to use the brain dump and look at the obligatory and not so obligatory tasks on it and try to add them at least as tentative dates on our calendar. And if anything has a fixed date, then we're just adding it as a fixed date. Know that this can be fluid, this can be changed at any time, but it is important that you see on your calendar how much time you actually have. Imagine the stress that was in my head thinking about these things. Now having this here, I can just go step by step. Look at last week. Last week was very relaxed in terms of having different to-dos. I was just editing, I was just filming and focusing on one thing or 2 things. Now looking at our step-by-step algorithm, we have to have a look at our quarterly plans and any habits or plans that you may have missed. So I have a few habits that I'm tracking. One of them, as you can see, is yoga. Another habit that I have is planning. Planning is booked into my morning routine, or I do it as soon as I wake up on Monday or in Sunday afternoon if I feel inspired. We talked about planning your quarters and your years. And when doing that, I said we can have something like a bucket list or a wish list, and it could be for the whole quarter. Signing up for a massage, for example, I could look at my week now, and if it looked any better than this, if I had an afternoon with 3 hours during the week, I could book that massage right there. So that's the step that we take. After that is we see, is there anything on my bucket list that I could do this week? These things don't happen unless you schedule them. They can stay on your bucket list until your last breath, essentially. Now, there is one optional step that really helps me, might not help you, and that is to have a to-do list. My to-do list has every single day my habits. I don't have a habit tracker at this point in time. I just have my morning routine, entering my meals, socializing, and working out or doing yoga. These are my habits. These are things that are also in my calendar, but I like to have them here to check off. And another thing that I have is on the bottom, my brain dump, a business, a friend, a experience, and a project brain dump. And the brain dump on the very left is the current week. So things that I will write, usually I will write them right here like this. Then I will book them in my calendar because then I will see where is the space to do them. Then I will add them into the specific days. And when the day comes, I will see, okay, this is what I have to do next. I will do it. And then I will go back to my to-do list and I will check it off. And the very helpful thing in this is if you're not done by the time that the time block in the calendar runs out. For example, if I'm not done with filming right now, when this calendar block here runs out, and let's say I don't have time after that, I have an appointment. I can move this here, or I can move it back to the brain dump, or I can move it here, and I'll have to see tomorrow that I find some time for it, because I will look at my to-do list in the morning and see, okay, these are things that have not gotten done yet. Are they in my calendar? Yes, it's okay. No, then I need to find time for them. Next week, when I sit down to plan, I will look at any to-dos that have been dragged and that are not done. I will look at my calendar and see if there's anything that I need to revise. If anything didn't get done, I will add it to the next week. Finally, I have some tips for success. So overestimate, as I said, better to plan more time than less time. Have a regular planning schedule. As I said, every Monday, it's part of my morning routine, or every Sunday, I will just add it if I feel like I have the inspiration on that day. Have fluidity in it. I added to my Saturday and Sunday. I know that I want to rest a bit more because it's a very tough week, and I've just called the rest. In my brain dump, I have rest ideas, and when the time comes, I'll just see what I feel like it. Do I feel like playing Life is Strange? Do I feel like watching Arcane? Do I feel like playing the guitar or just going for a walk? And finally, examples. I just wanted to take you on a brief journey through my last couple of weeks. The last week was very, very easy to plan because I just had these big tasks to work on. The week before that, I took more time for me. I reset. I planned for 4 hours. I rested the week before that as well because I had a very horrible month of October. Here you can see most of my evenings are free, and I wrote down what I'm gonna do in my free time as opposed to this week because I really wanted to have something specific to do and not just lie around. This week here, I also had very regular rest time. So some weeks are better than others. Here I also had a trip. I traveled to Cologne. The week before that, I was filming a lot, editing, working. And this is October where it was very stressful. So I was working most days. Everything that you need is down in the description. All of the brain dumping, the whole algorithm for how to do it. Thank you so much for watching. Leave a like if you enjoyed this video. Subscribe to my channel. Check out my other planning videos. And I will see you very, very soon. Bye-bye.